But if I say you're a pain in the neck, that's very offensive. That means, hi, what are the 5 aches? And how can you express yourself when you're not feeling very well? This is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, here to help you improve your English with minimum effort and maximum benefits. Now, in this period, it's the period of COVID-19. It's a very bad period where we're always speaking about how we're feeling and we're worried that we might catch something. So I thought it would be the opportunity to also learn how to express when we're not feeling very well. Many people, when they want to explain what physical problems they have, they will translate from their own language. Whilst in reality, in English, it's much easier, and if you want to sound natural, the first thing you need to learn are the 5 aches. So what are the 5 aches? The 5 aches are the most common pains people have. So you can start with a headache. It's a combination of the word head and ache. You must be careful to keep the pronunciation separate. I've got a headache because many people for some reason confuse it and add a C, and then it sounds very funny because they say I have a head cake. But a head cake is, well, doesn't mean anything, but it makes me laugh because I think of a cake, something you eat, on your head. So I have a headache is when you have a pain in your head, and many people usually take an aspirin or some painkiller for their headache. Well, I'd like to give you a recommendation that a doctor gave me, and I've tested it out. It really works. So it's actually not a medicine. You take a strong coffee, possibly that you've made yourself, and squeeze in 2 drops of lemon. And the lemon will activate the caffeine in the coffee and so make it stronger. Therefore, the caffeine will react in your blood vessels and make the blood flow better, so your headache will go away. I tested it various times, and I don't really have headaches very often, but I remember once I had a really strong headache all day, and I kept drinking coffee because I remembered that coffee is very good. I think it dilates the blood vessels. However, to no avail, it just didn't work until I remembered the lemon juice. Now, I must admit it doesn't taste very good with lemon juice, but I squeezed in a couple of drops of lemon juice, and within 30 minutes my headache had gone. So this is some advice I give you, especially if you're somewhere where you don't have access to medicines. It's a very good way and a very natural way of combating a headache. So remember, the first ache is a headache. The next ache that many people suffer from is a backache. That is when your back has problems and you can say, oh, I'm suffering from a terrible backache. Now, I presume if you suffer from backache that you know, but many people underestimate that backaches depend very much on posture. So posture is the way you stand, the way you sit, and if you slouch, it's more probable you get backache. Also, when you're sitting on a sofa, for example, and you lean back, you should always prop a cushion behind the small part of your back because it needs support. Otherwise, you'll get backache. So you have headache, the first ache, backache, and another very common ache is the stomachache. Now, obviously here it sounds like a cake because the word stomach ends in k and ache, and so together, stomachache. But for some reason, it doesn't sound funny to me. I don't envisage a cake at all. So what can you do for a stomachache? Well, apart from the hot water bottle to keep on your stomach to keep it warm, I usually recommend a cup of hot ginger tea with freshly grated ginger and maybe also a little bit of lemon juice. That disinfects it, it warms it, and very often helps your stomachache go away. It's not a guaranteed remedy, but the hot water bottle and the hot tea with ginger and lemon, will usually make a difference. So we have 3 aches now: headache, stomachache, and backache. Now, another very painful ache is the earache. Earache. For that, I have no real natural remedy. Some people swear by grandmother's method, where you take a teaspoon of olive oil and you heat it very slightly, so it has to be the same temperature as your body, and you pour it in. But of course, this is a little bit dangerous because it could depend on different causes, your earache. So I've never tried it myself, but I know that many people think it's much better than any other medicine. Therefore, consider it, but I do think that you need doctor's advice on earache, because earache is a bit tricky. So, headache, backache, stomachache, earache, and finally, toothache. Just as painful as earache. And for toothache, there are also various remedies, from a clove that you can bite, and that will release something to ease the pain, to other remedies that I can't think of at the moment. But yes, you probably do need some medicine for toothache and a good visit to the dentist. So these are the 5 aches: headache, backache, stomachache, earache, and toothache. And I also connect to the 5 aches, even though it's not an ache, a sore throat. So inside here, your throat, when your throat is swollen and you can't speak or you can't swallow, this is a sore throat. Sore means when something is red. So your throat is red inside and it's a sore throat. However, for sore throats, I personally use a strong dose of propolis, but it has to be strong, at least 10%, otherwise it won't work. The ones they sell at the chemists are usually wonderful flavors, but they're 7% and they really don't make a difference. Whilst the really strong stuff, the 10% one, tastes disgusting, but is really effective and works just like an antibiotic. So you can forget antibiotics and gargle with that. If you catch it at the beginning, it's perfect. I swear by propolis. So this is your sore throat. Instead, all the other pains, they are not aches, even though in fact we speak about aches and pains. If you have other pains which are not part of the 5 aches nor your sore throat, then you can call it a pain, or you can use the verb hurt. So if you go to the doctor, you can say, my arm hurts. You can't say, I've got an arm ache, but you can say, I've got a pain in my arm right here near my elbow, or you can say, my arm hurts. You can also say, I've hurt my arm, but my arm hurts and I've hurt my arm are 2 different things. So if you don't know why you have a pain in your arm, you can say, my arm hurts. Instead, if you fell down, if you hit your arm, then you can say, I've hurt my arm. Or yesterday when I fell off my bike, I hurt my arm. So in the simple past, if it's yesterday, or if it's in general, I've hurt my arm. So you can't speak about aches in those cases, even though you can say, in general, I've got a lot of aches and pains. So my arm hurts, my leg hurts, my neck hurts. My neck hurts means it's the outside, it's not the throat, which is inside. Sometimes you can have a car accident, you'll have what we call whiplash, when your head goes back and forward quickly, and definitely your neck hurts in this case. So anything which is not one of the 5 aches and not a sore throat is something which hurts, a part of your body which hurts, or which you have hurt if you were the cause of the pain. Of course, there are many other things you can say. I've got a rash if it came out unexpectedly. I've got a sore, usually if you've rubbed it like in a blister or something. A blister is on your foot, very often in your shoes. There are many things. I've got a cut, I've got a bruise. A bruise is when you turn blue if you hit yourself. So these are extra words that you have to learn depending on what specifically happened to you. However, if you just want to be general, you say one of the 5 aches, or the sore throat, or I've hurt my arm, I've hurt my leg, I've hurt my neck, or my neck hurts, my arm hurts, my foot hurts, and so on. And you can also say, I've got a pain. Be careful though, if you say a pain in the neck, you can say, I've got a pain in the neck, which means my neck hurts. But if I say, you're a pain in the neck, that's very offensive. That means that you're disturbing me and that you're nagging me and I can't stand you any longer. So be careful how you use the word pain in the neck. Okay, I hope all these expressions were useful for you. If you like this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!